Nobody likes bad news, so when they hear it, they tune out. But as we speak, rather than encouraging business and addressing the competitiveness crisis, the Government of Canada is focused on a fabricated crisis, their so-called climate emergency that happened in just the last couple of weeks, apparently. In so doing, they're distracting people from what is the real threat, the real emergency for our country, the survival of the very businesses that are called upon to pay for most of what it takes to run the country. 90% of employees in the private sector are employed by us, by small to medium-sized businesses. When a tax is implemented, who gets hit the hardest? SMEs. When government issues carbon tax checks, who pays for the rebates? SMEs. When Hydro gives special breaks to a handful of large users, the ICI program, who pays for those breaks? Again, SMEs, small to medium-sized business. Business owners are a small block of voters, and the current federal government believes they can abuse us and still not affect the large voting blocks. Those large blocks are increasingly in the pay of the government as public employees or unions or business groups getting government dollars. And we are left footing the bill and having no voice. One can't help but wonder if unions have become a kind of shadow government, particularly when you see the head of Unifor publicly stating he will defeat Andrew Scheer, being appointed to the federal government's committee, choosing the recipients of a public bailout, using your money and mine.
What a shameful thing.
Exactly. How tight are these people with the government, you have to ask yourself. Well, we've already seen attack ads claiming Scheer is hiding something. Ads brought to you by Engage Canada, funded in part by Unifor, probably mostly by Unifor. We should be very concerned. And really, Andrew Scheer is hiding something? What something is that? Is he hiding support for SNC-Lavalin execs? Is he hiding wealthy corporates who condemn people for not taking action on climate change? And then getting public money to reduce their own emissions for their refrigerators? Is he covering up unjustified legal attacks on a vice admiral who doesn't agree with him? Is he surreptitiously influencing the judiciary and then saying he didn't do it? Or is that our current PM? I was always taught you entered government to perform some public service. Yet what we see are those who manipulate markets and invent ones, and then take personal advantage of the resulting economic disruption. When the economy crashes, those corporates pick up the pieces for a song. That's how socialism works for the elites. Destroying the oil and gas industry, and by extension plastics, and driving away manufacturing is a sure way to create disruption. A sure way to put people out of work in one industry and secretly invest in another industry of your own direction. This hidden agenda, that's the hidden agenda behind the green economy. You ever wonder why no one will tell you what's in the green economy or where those green jobs are? It's a secret until IPOs start showing up for wind and solar and cannabis and who knows what's next. All dependent on some federal program or another. Why is this government seemingly more interested in the well-being of so many other countries and not our own? Why do people of the Pacific Rim and the European Union seem to have a greater voice with our government than its own people do? Make no mistake, the rest of the world is not looking out for Canada. Other countries look out for themselves. There's an economic war happening globally, and we aren't even armed for battle. Instead, we're attacking ourselves. The latest example is how we are being destroyed as a collateral casualty of the US-China trade war. Our Prime Minister is intent on appeasing Europe and reconciling with China and distracting Canadians with the Paris Climate Accord, while snubbing his nose at the US, the very real competitive opportunity that represents for us. There are many voices out there, but a disturbing trend is that more and more of them are beholden to federal funding. And now those federal authorities are cracking down on social media to boot. Our Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers and Businesses of Canada is a grassroots, non-government funded voice for SMEs. We're growing fast. We have nearly doubled in the last 12 months. The health of the economy depends on our health. Our employees know this, and they want us to speak up for them and their jobs. That's how we as a small voting bloc can give voice to many, many Canadians who directly and indirectly depend on our success. So just to close, our 4 pillars, this is what we're about. The importance First of all, the importance of SMEs to the economy. Secondly, the importance of the resource sector to our prosperity. And third, the importance of affordable energy, including pushing back on this failed green energy plan here in Ontario. And the fourth one is the importance of a fair and honest media. So, please consider every opportunity to grow the coalition as your personal responsibility. We have to stick together. We have to help each other. With you, we can bring back sanity and prosperity to Canada. Thank you very much.